What up? They saying we live, y'all. Pardon everything. I just got off work and I wanted to go ahead and get into this so that I could get into my weekend. You know what I'm saying? Everything, shower, shave, all of that. It's happening. I'm out here tonight. But before I get out here tonight, I want to talk to y'all. I ran across the clip for my expert opinion about the game versus Eminem diss. All right, let's get right into it. You know what I'm saying? Um, all right. So first of all, it was mentioned that it could be bait for the game to blow up. Cloud chasing. The game is attaching himself at this time to Eminem so as to skyrocket his career or such and such. Woo, woo, woo. All right. You know how it always was with Jay Z. You know, a few people throw rocks at the Stones. Jay Z made a few mentions of that as well. Um, but at the end of the day, that definitely was already surfacing and floating in the air. Good point. But I think it's just a regular point. I mean, it's Eminem. Um, but you know, I guess the case has to be made, right? And we're gonna get into it. You know what I'm saying? Another point was made. Um, I don't know because it was Graph. They had a special. They had a couple special guests. It was Math Hoffa and the team. Y'all don't watch my expert opinion. Y'all need to go on over there. You know what I'm saying? It's very informative hip hop news. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop information about certain stuff. You know what I'm saying? Going on in the game. Very informative. Very entertaining. But at the end of the day, um, I didn't know the special guest that they had. He made a point and he said that obsession could be a possibility in the situation. He doesn't think that a man should think about another man too long. I get it. This is hip hop. Happens all the time. Anyway, moving on. Another point. I knew people was going to jump on this right here. I knew it. I knew it. Another point that was made, Graph, I believe, made this point as well, that it was too long. Math Hoffa definitely said it was too long. You know, but it was like a general consensus in the room. But what I did understand and I like is that Graph gave it its just due when an artist makes a song this long, you know what I'm saying? It either got to have some type of theme or some type of cohesiveness running through the track. So at the end of the day, this was a nice little artistic piece. I saw where he was going with it, and Graf did too. And that's why he said, you know, if he would have just shortened it up and put it to one like full 360, I guess he meant, or the 260 bars, or you know, just one long verse, you know, then it would have been a better song. Um, right. You know, it is what it is. Next point that was made was there was no response from Eminem. I'm not even going to talk about that right now. We already know what time it was, for real, for real. This is a people's sport, you know? Eminem was supposed to not respond until the people responded and then lifted Eminem up off of his ass and responded. Excuse my French. All right, next point. We got M enemies. Okay, all right. Yeah, let's get into that real quick. Who are Eminem's enemies in hip hop? Like, we talking about, we definitely, all right, so do I got to put a disclaimer out, right? Here, over here, at Spitz TV News, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we don't condone no violence, no hands and feet, or none of that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, this is a competitive sport, hip hop, that we're talking about. And, you know, it's supposed to get a little chippy from time to that what competition is, you know? So at the end of the day, who has been the opposers of Eminem throughout hip hop? And I remember Ja Rule, Benzino, Um, I mean, get down in the comment section. Let me know if you remember anybody else. But for real, y'all, I'm not even gonna hold you. I don't remember anybody else. I mean, except we go. If are we gonna talk about when he was Jimmy in the role in 8 Mile and he bodied the dude at the Frank stand? Because I think a lot of y'all was really y'all was off of that. Y'all been off of that since then. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Y'all been off Eminem and like he's like the rap, king or something like that. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. He's the rap king, cause you know how Biggie will come out and say he's the king of New York. Then Jay-Z, might say king of New York. A lot of New York rappers do that. But then we got new artists. T.I. say he's the king of the South. Then you got Game say he's the king of the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, we do have folks that'll pull up the moniker and things of that nature and be like, hey, I'm the king of this or that. Ooh. Nobody has ever, Eminem or the fans come out and say Eminem is the king of Detroit, right? But anytime there's a discussion that this guy, this rapper here, this MC, there is no messing with Eminem. So, Eminem gave himself what? The rap god, right? And y'all gave him that too. I just gotta say that, man. I feel like y'all, the people, my people, not me included, y'all. I gotta see through it. I'm seeing the news first, so I'm already gonna see through what's going on. But the people, the majority of the people, and not my people. We ain't talking about, what I'm saying, the spits subscribers. We not talking about that. We talking about the masses. You people that have not come in yet, that you will come in. Thank you for watching. Please get in that comment section. Please hit that like button. Please subscribe. But at the end of the day, y'all have been giving Eminem the top accolades and the top position because Eminem bodied that dude in the movie. Telling y'all, man. And the dude on stage too. I don't think it was really about the dude on stage, but like more so the dude in the beginning of the movie when he was taking it to him. Y'all can go watch the movie. I'm not an Eminem hater or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like that was tough. He was battling the one guy. I haven't seen the movie in a while. Anyway, the next point was, listen. At the end of the day, I understand the connection between 50 Cent and Eminem. I'm from the hood. I understand. 50. Well, at the end of the day, 50, you already know. Shout out to 50 Cent, the G Unit. Big fan. I think we're going to have to separate 50 Cent from this. We have to separate 50 Cent from this. At the end of the day, I think it would be smart for 50 to separate himself because 50's been doing a lot of different ventures and he don't have the time to sit down and write these intricate raps that the game has been writing these days, man. I listened to the diss track. I listened to the Last Game album, which was Born to Rap. I listened to the Game album that just came out, which was Mind versus Heart versus Mind, such and such whoop-de-whoop. The Jesus piece, the LAXs and so on and so forth, Also, the Massacre, Get Rich or Die Trying, Animal, what's my joint, Curtis, and Animal Ambition, matter of fact. But I'm not saying that I can't listen to 50 and not listen to Game or not listen to Eminem. I'm not one of those type of persons. I listen to good music, and if it's good, it's good. Now, what we're talking about here is 50 Cent at this moment with all of the things that he is doing. He cannot afford to get into a hip hop beef with the game right now. A lot of sparring, a lot of lyrics, a lot of going back and forth. It's too personal. You know, he's doing a lot on TV and things of that nature. There's no need. He needs to separate himself, but I'm pretty sure, you know what I'm saying, he's going to have M's back in some type of way, form, fashion. For me, I'm like, Fifth, come on, sit this one out. You know what I'm saying? I feel like at the end of the day, if you separate 50 Cent from the equation, you get a classic hip-hop battle. Eminem, wordsmith, very wordy, lyrical miracle, umbilical, and your cereal. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna go in with the lyrics. He's gonna talk about some personal things. Y'all already know what time it is. This is the hip hop. This is the hip hop this way. You know what I'm saying? I personally feel like when Math Hoffa and the gang, you know what I'm saying? Math Hoffa and the crew started off the conversation. I think they kind of like put a little too much edge on the side of Eminem. You know what I'm saying? Because first of all, I don't believe, and I definitely don't believe. So, you know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and get this on the table right now. I do not believe that the game disc was a top 5 disc. I just believe that it was a good disc. You know what I'm saying? That's another conversation. I don't even want to say anything about that, what list it would be on. It was a good disc. I thought it was creative. I thought he got his point across. And this is another thing, and this I left this for last. They forgot about Math Hoffa, and my expert opinion, and the cast with Graf, everyone forgot about the piece where Game has already explained the beef. There was a whole general aura around the show that they couldn't find the connection with the beef. Game has already explained the beef. Now, whether you like it or not, here's my theory of what Game says. I'm going to paraphrase, you know what I'm saying? I listened to the album. I'm going to paraphrase what I think Game said. Now, this doesn't mean that I think Game is right or wrong. I'm just going to paraphrase. And what he said was, Dr. Dre, he always looked up to him. They're from Compton. Dr. Dre is one of the most prolific producers, dope MCs, NWA, Aftermath, The Firm, you know what I'm saying? Beats, 50, everything. So, all right, get that right there. Now we get past that, and he's saying, all right, so he saw what he did as a boy from Compton, guy from Compton, young man from Compton, young MC from Compton, right? He saw what Dr. Dre did for Eminem. And he was like, and I'll leave y'all for interpretation. As a young black man, he felt like when he got the chance to get with Dr. Dre, that same element would come into play. I'm from Compton. I'm a dope MC. I just need polishing. He would take me under the wing like a father. He said it a couple of times. Start from scratch. And he also said it again, referencing it. He looked up to Dr. Dre as a father figure. All right. So we get that point. You know, he probably had his issues with his dad or whatever. Talks a lot about his dad. His dad was there. His dad wasn't there. Listen, I understand what it is to have heroes. So maybe he really in his mind was like, listen, Dr. Dre, boom. You know what I mean? Now, another thing. You can sense the animosity. And it had to be deep-seated anyway. You can sense the animosity because 50 got the chance next. But he was from the East Coast. You get it? It's like, nah, that should have been over here with us, home team. Y'all see it playing out with the whole scenario behind the Super Bowl and stuff. And see, this is also another thing. Game could 100% be creating this narrative, and at the end of the day, this narrative be what the narrative is. It is what it is. At the end of the day, I feel like these are important factors within this particular beef. I'm going to call it a rap beef, or whatever, right? Okay. Another thing, to further go on to what Game was saying in his album. So he gets there with Dr. Dre, and Dr. Dre, what we all know the story. Subsequently, the situations happen, and now he's off the label. Has to come with a second effort. Has to impress critics, the label. He probably owed them a record. I bet the record company probably just, this is Interscope. They didn't need the Game at that time. They had 50 Cent. We got Eminem. We got Dr. Dre. We really don't need anyone. And who would have known Kendrick Lamar was coming right after that? So we get to the point of the Game is totally in the wilderness. If you listen to the documentary, right? No, the documentary was the first album. The Doctor's Advocate was the second album. And if you listen to the Doctor's Advocate, right, you can... Listen, I was fooled. Cut the chase. Cut to the chase. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me, y'all. I was fooled. On the Doctor's Advocate, I believe that there were Dre beats on there. I'm just saying, man. Now we get to the new album, Heart vs. Mind, and the Game is saying that Dr. Dre wasn't on the Doctor's Advocate. He just imagined it. Come on, y'all. Y'all got to be seeing this a little bit his way. The guy is salty. You know what I'm saying? He bitter. And I believe if it was a perfect world, I believe it would be rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? But it's not a perfect world. I don't know what happened behind the scenes. I don't know what type of guy or man rapport the Game has with 50 Cent or with Dr. Dre. I did see one time, and this is not in Game's defense, I did see one time where he got back and cool with 50 Cent and then didn't. But I also could know that there could be things going on behind the scene that possibly could make those situations just not happen. We already know the management of Jimmy Roseman. You know what I'm saying? So 50 has real enemies on this side where Game stands. And on 50 Cent's side, there are, Dr. Dre, Eminem, the guys that Game needs at this time to jumpstart this situation, and it'll be a real, competition. Like, I think personally, the next point or the last point, let me just finish up before I give my opinion. The last thing that Game said was he felt hurt. He felt hurt, and that he felt like there was... All right, so my only way of explaining this would be like you have two children. One is a boy, one is a girl. And your favorite is the boy. You don't even look at the girl. the girl's gonna grow up to have animosity. This is where he has drawn me in. This is where, and y'all already know what it is. I'm trying to get into it real quick. Because this point here is valid. Excuse me, I'm moving around. I got out of the light. This point is valid. We have the two sons of Dr. Dre. The favorite son, Eminem, and Dr. Dre has many sons, but I'm just saying. We have the favorite son, Eminem, and then we have the prodigal son, or the unfortunate son, the Game. And then in the middle, pause, you got the loyal son, which is, I don't really know. He was talking a whole lot about beats. So then you have 50 Cent in the middle. I think 50 needs to take himself. That's why I said that, out of this equation. Let the boys fight it out. Fight! You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel about it. At the end of the day, it was a nice little clip. I definitely was entertained. I love the opinions, but I just thought that y'all didn't put that major piece in it, because I don't think anybody really checked the album out. So you got to go back and check the album out. Then on top of that, this is a New York syndication or programming. So at the end of the day, not a lot of people from New York are going to be listening to that Game album or any Game album. So, And then lastly, but not least, y'all need to come up off this, man. Eminem is not some fawn or some little pretty little baby or some glass sculpture or the Hope Diamond, Rock of Gibraltar. You know what I'm saying? Eminem is an MC, man. Let that man come out of the cage, the basement. Ooh, the Game said, how ironic. He's downstairs in the basement looking for Dr. Dre beats, an attic in the basement. There are bars here. I want to hear them. There are potential schemes here that's going to be fire. I want to hear them. I want to hear Eminem, and now I'm going to get personal. I want to hear Eminem against a credible, a formidable opponent. Because I've been saying for a long time, man, I can't say that. Shout out to Busta Rhymes. That's all I'm going to say. And that's my time right now, y'all. I got to go ahead and get out here and get it popping. You know what I'm saying? The 3 S's. Shower and shave. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can think on yourselves what the first S was. But, I got to go. Let me go ahead and get ready. But get down in the comment section. Tell me what you think. Excuse the scruffy scruffs. You know what I'm saying? And let's get to a real conversation here. Eminem needs to be drawn out. Some of y'all gonna be talking about my hands, man. I work, man, for a living. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get that bread for real. You already know. It's your boy, Rad Spitz. Spitz TV News. I holla. Because y'all sleeping on that Game joint. Shit's tough. Oh, I ain't even... Hold up for a second. Let me bring it back. 1 second. I got to say something last, too. They said how long it was and the duration of it. Man, you don't do nothing for 10 minutes? Nobody does anything for 10 minutes. So none of y'all work out. Everybody just getting the BBLs. I'm out.